Welcome to SomewhatNerdy Radio. We are your hosts. I am Snarfkris.
I'm Critter.
That's Critter. I'm Snarfkris. We're here. Go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other social media. Whatever podcast app you're using, leave us stars, all 5 stars, thumbs up, hearts. You can subscribe to us literally everywhere. We're everywhere, and we're on their website. So yeah, we're on the 7th podcast.
Is it 7? It's 8. Yeah, 7.
7. Yeah, 7 podcasts of our new season.
Volume 2.
Volume 2. Seasons, volumes, all those words that we all made up that don't mean anything. So, yeah, we're moving right along. I hope y'all enjoyed the movie review from last podcast, and we got a lot of good positive responses from it. And on this podcast, we're going to be doing
an unpopular opinion.
You know, rarely we're going to do something where Critter's not wrong about.
Oh, here we go.
But we're going to do It's Okay to Be Wrong.
So the idea behind it, It's Okay to Be Wrong, is that we talk about controversial kind of nerd topics. And it's usually things that people would disagree with you about, and you just die on that hill. You know, you're just like, you know what? I stand by this. And you're wrong for not agreeing with me.
Most of the time, it's me and Critter arguing with each other about why Critter's wrong about something.
Sure.
So, you know. But this one's a little bit different. This is more you, the listener, why you were wrong. And more the internet. I think our listeners are very smart, so they probably agree with us. They're the smartest listeners ever.
There are pockets that people that will agree with us wholeheartedly, part-heartedly, but there will be people that can see our viewpoint at least.
Obviously, you already read the name of the episode, so it's not a big surprise. We're going to be talking about who is the best Batman.
Yes, the best Batman. And for this,
we're going to go live action.
Yeah, because, I mean, we're going to leave Kevin Conroy out of this.
Because he would be up there high on the list.
Yeah, because, I mean, if we were to do Jokers, too, Mark Hamill.
High on the list.
High. Maybe best. I don't know. Probably best.
Jared Leto, probably be right below him. Anyway, go continue.
Ooh. Anyway, so this is a hard list. As in, these are hard facts. These are numbers that we will not falter on.
And me and Critter agree on this list.
We went through this list ahead of time, and we agree it is controversial, but we stand by it.
Surprisingly, controversially, we agree on this list. Other than one, but we'll get to that. Why?
And this is it's a weak why, but
yeah, it's a weak why.
He'll agree with me when he comes to whatever.
So what we're going to do is just knock out the list?
We're going to knock out the list. Best to worst.
We'll talk about the list.
Best to worst. And a little caveat here, the best does not mean our favorite. It just means the best according to the comic and things like that.
It can align with favorite now.
It can, but I will specify which one's my favorite as we go.
And we agree on that too. So.
Yeah, so here we are, from the best Batman in the live action versions to the worst. And here's another little tidbit. No one on this list is inherently bad. It's just that they're not as good as their counterparts above them.
Arguably bad. Let's go with arguably, because there's somebody on this list I think's bad, but yeah.
So, yeah, but my point is, even in the bad things, they are in good things.
In a world where no one knows what movies are coming out during the week, where your movie future is bleak and uncertain, comes Future Flicks with Billiam. Hi, I'm Billiam. On my show, I go over every movie that's coming out during the week so you don't miss a thing. I have a pick of the week so you will know which movie you just have to see, and I also go over news and trailers that caught my eye. So check out Future Flicks with Billiam each week on the Somewhat Nerdy Podcast Network. Listen and subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, and any podcast listening app. I'll see you in the future.
So here we are, starting at the best Batman on film. We have one and only Batfleck, Ben Affleck, and this is the most controversial thing we could possibly say in this podcast.
But true.
This is
100% true.
This is the stuff that you will argue. You will hate us for it, but we will go into that in a second. Number 2 will be Michael Keaton. Number 3 is Christian Bale. Coming in at number 4, Val Kilmer. Number 5, we have Robert Pattinson. Number 6, we have Adam West. And following in dead last, George Clooney. Now, we understand that some people may be fine with a lot of where we position some of these people. Some people may disagree that, this one could be a little higher, this one could be a little lower. But the one that people may be arguing the most about is the Batfleck. And it's okay to be wrong, but you're wrong.
Because you're wrong.
You are wrong.
So let's go with, I don't know if you remember, what were your original thought when Ben Affleck was announced as Batman and Batman vs. Superman?
Incredible. Can't wait.
So I didn't have that.
See, me? Well, first of all, I, unlike most people, like Ben Affleck.
No. I will say I do like Ben Affleck a lot. It wasn't like one of these. I know there's like some internet hate, or I think it's just cool to hate Ben Affleck, Nickelback or something like that. But
I don't want to get into that because lately I've been listening to Nickelback because I've been listening on my
as
iPod
I got
on shuffle.
older, yeah.
And you know what? When it comes on, I'm like, oh, this is kind of good. Just starting off with the guitar riff, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Nickelback. All right, I'm just gonna follow through. I'm like, that's pretty good. But anyway, so
I think Ben Affleck had a little bit of that.
He definitely does, and it was because of Daredevil. So everyone brings up Daredevil. They say Daredevil. Have you seen Daredevil? I'm like, was he bad in Daredevil? Is that your argument? Because he's not bad. The movie
is bad.
Agreeably,
the director's cut is actually better. I highly recommend you only watch the director's cut, which makes you kind of like the movie. But he was good in the movie.
He's fine.
He's fine in everything.
And if you want to say he's not a good actor, I argue that. Because he is, sure, maybe he's never won an award for acting, but how long did it take Leonardo DiCaprio, who's an amazing actor?
Or Will Smith. Oh, boom.
Slap.
Topical.
But he has written and directed Academy Award-winning movies that he starred in. So how bad of an actor can he be if a movie he wrote and directed won Academy Awards for writing and directing?
I think Matt Damon wrote most of that movie, but
no, he's won multiple.
Yeah,
there's Argo,
I know.
There's The Town.
That was a joke again.
I get it. I understand the Jay and Silent Bob joke from that, but still, that's the whole thing. It's like he keeps on getting shit on because honestly, he's a good sport. Yeah, for everything that happened in his career, he is about even being able to be made fun of about himself.
His love life and whoever he's married to or dating, I think that's a lot of things that came with the J-Lo thing from way back in the day, and then he made a movie with J-Lo that wasn't well received, which was a Kevin Smith movie, Jersey Girl.
Oh, that one? I thought you were talking about Geely.
No, that was the other one. I understand. Totally fine. I wasn't a fan. I just couldn't picture Ben Affleck as Batman. Totally fine. Batman vs. Superman happens. I'm like, holy shit, this is the first time we've ever seen Batman on screen, literally ever.
Well, you didn't see it from when they showed the first brooding picture of him in his Batsuit and the Dark Knight logo.
So what, the first picture we ever saw was him standing in front of the car, I think? Yeah. I instantly dug it because I got that whole
Dark Knight vibe. Frank Miller
vibe off of it. Totally did. And then at the time, there was a lot of speculations that they were doing like the very, very gray and then black gloves. I'm like, oh, Zack Snyder's going to go full Frank Miller with it. I'm super cool with it. I started getting on board about that time. The first time I ever saw I think it was a first shot from like a nipple up of the shot of the design and this costume and stuff like that. That's fucking Batman. That's the first time we've seen Batman on screen.
Yeah.
A picture of a real Batman.
From comic book, which would be a guy between 6'2" to 6'5", just
bodybuilder,
just
huge.
Giant motherfucker.
Yeah. It's not, which we'll get into in a little bit, Michael Keaton, which weighs literally probably 130 pounds.
I mean, he's 5'8". He's maybe 170 pounds at the time.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Probably, I mean, because everybody had to put on muscle.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And
some people put on too much muscle. We'll get into a little bit later.
But let's kind of blaze through this because, all right, so Ben Affleck, amazing costume, fits the build, the absolute best fucking fight scene Batman has ever done, ever. The warehouse scene, I mean, like, you can't say, oh, he's not my Batman. Watch that fight scene and be like, nope, not it.
We've never seen the Batman where he can hide in a corner and zip to the other corner and then beat up people in between those two movements. That's literally the first time we've ever seen it. And a lot of this is Zack Snyder's vision of it. But Ben Affleck plays a good Batman. He plays a good Bruce Wayne, which is part of Batman.
But he plays... See, the thing is, a lot of people don't like his Bruce Wayne because, like, oh, it's not a good Bruce Wayne. He's older. This is old Bruce Wayne.
This is wore out.
Yeah, this is wore out. He doesn't give a shit anymore. He is more Batman than he is Bruce Wayne. He does not. He stopped even worrying about the mask of Bruce Wayne anymore.
And this movie does such a good job of it. And it's what I've always said about Batman. Batman is Batman. His fake personality, the mask he wears, is Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
Which is the flip from Superman. Superman pretends to be Superman, but he's really Clark Kent. So those are the polar opposites. That movie did that.
Yeah.
With Ben Affleck.
Yep. And did it lose something in Justice League? Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. The original cut of Justice League, Joss Whedon one for sure.
Yeah.
I think was Zack Snyder's new version of it, redeemed a lot of the movie. I still don't think it's a perfect movie because I don't think Zack Snyder puts together perfect movies.
I agree. Yeah. I do like it. I like Zack Snyder. I do too. I think he is an amazing cinematographer, fight scene coordinator, casting director, costume person. He has an eye for all of that shit.
And more importantly, he cast Ben Affleck as...
And Henry Cavill as Superman.
And Superman.
Which is the perfect
and
Superman.
I love Henry Cavill and everything. So, but yes, Ben
and
Affleck...
And Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Agreed.
I mean,
it continues. Like the entire casting's good. This is the best Batman.
All those reasons. Now moving on to my favorite Batman. So as you can see, as much as we gushed over Ben Affleck as being Batman, the favorite Batman for me, and I assume you,
and me,
is Michael Keaton.
This is my Batman.
This is, I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
The no neck turning superhero turn, which really made the superhero turn where you just can't turn his head,
and they'll look up and they have to turn their whole torso.
Turn the whole torso up. I saw this in theaters in 1989. I saw the sequel in theaters in 1989, in 2002, 2001.
You talking about Batman Returns? 1992.
Is it 92 or 92?
It's definitely not 2002.
Did I say 2002?
Yes, you did.
My bad.
It's okay to be wrong, but you're wrong.
This is my Batman. It will always be my Batman.
Well, first of all, Michael Keaton also caught a lot of flack. So all the hate that Ben Affleck got, he was not alone. Michael Keaton got it all as well.
We got sent, Critter sent me a video today about the news media freaking out about
a comedian being a small comedian being
a very
Batman.
small comedian playing Batman. And I have a friend that's a little bit older than us. He's kind of an older man. He's 50 plus. Which is listening to the podcast, and the only reason I said that. He remembers when the hate really got cast as Michael Keaton got cast as Batman. There was a lot of nerd hate.
Nerd hate's a real thing, and it runs strong, man. And they are brutal, and they did not like Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom. This is before Beetlejuice.
Yeah, and by the way, Mr. Mom is an amazing movie.
It is.
And also Michael Keaton, even though he's 5'8", 5'9", tough guy. I wouldn't fuck with him.
I probably would now.
No, I don't think I would. I saw him in Spider-Man Homecoming. I would not fuck with him.
I agree.
If he put up with a superpowered teenager Spider-Man, I wouldn't fuck with him.
He also seems really nice. So,
well,
and he's you know my favorite thing about him?
He loves Batman.
He loves Batman. Every interview he does, I've heard him say it was like, "Oh, I'm Batman." So
I loved reading about him in Homecoming when he was fighting Tom Holland, and they're like grappled together, and Tom Holland was like, he's just whispering in my ear, I'm Batman. And that is hilarious. And he is like, okay, so Tim Burton's Batman is iconic. The Batmobile is amazing. He is funny. This is the most charming, funny Batman. And then Bruce Wayne, absolute best Bruce Wayne. Mostly because you like him.
Yeah.
There's no other Bruce Wayne that's likable.
Bruce Wayne's not supposed to be likable, so it kind of goes against
the
Bruce Wayne thing.
This, if you think about it, he's the height of both.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Okay.
So it'd be like Batman exists, Bruce Wayne, and like so no one could figure it out because he's like, hey, I'm this playboy funny guy, cool.
No, you're right. It would be an 80s Batman.
He would be. He's the perfect balance.
I'm a swinging bachelor, and I'm also really super badass.
And when you meet him, he's like super charming and super cool. You're like, oh yeah, this dude is not this dark brooding guy that's just like, I'm meeting up bad guys on the weekend.
This is true.
All right. So, number 3. Now, this one is Christian Bale, for obvious reasons. He has been in some amazing movies, but I argue what makes these movies that he's in are the villains. This is villain-based.
Yes and no. This is on this list. I don't even think it's arguably. This is the best actor on this list.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Christian Bale is an amazing character actor. He becomes the roles that he's in. He became Batman. He became American Psycho. He lost, he weighed 110 pounds right before he shot this movie.
Every movie, he did The Machinist right before this, and he was like, like 140 pounds. Something.
And then he put all the weight on. When I was talking about too much weight, and he couldn't fit in the Batman suit. Yeah. Like, he put on too much. And then he's giant in this movie.
Yeah.
He's a character actor. He is the best actor on this list.
And this is maybe his worst acting. Because he doesn't do any acting. So, because he's just like...
Not as Batman, because there's not much acting. I think me and you can play a good Batman.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Problem. But maybe that was your voice. But
well, I mean, I would have to have the Ben Affleck voice changer.
Or do the gravelly voice that...
I couldn't do it. And just get hoarse the whole time. I'm just going to talk normal. Is that cool? I'd be that guy. I'm just going to talk normal. Is that cool?
But the sequel to his movie, The Dark Knight, is one of my favorite movies. It would be in my top 10. I think if I was ever going to give a movie a 11, this is really close to 11 to me.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that's... Everything.
It's obviously not just Christian Bale. This is a solid movie. You take Joker and Batman out of the movie and just made it a cops and robbers movie, it would still be a perfect movie. Yeah. This is a perfect movie.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with that. And that's what I'm saying is Christian Bale is such a good actor. This is the least amount of acting he does in a movie. And is it still good? Absolutely.
It's amazing.
It's just that you watch Christian Bale in literally anything else. When he plays Vice in the movie Vice. It's been a while now.
Bad guy in Thor. Yeah, which is so weird.
He's just so good in so many things.
I know he was not good in Terminator.
You know what? I argue that he was fine. He just played a veteran John Connor, and we never saw veteran John Connor.
Sure. Maybe I just had more of a problem with the movie than him. So,
possibly. Yeah. Moving right along. So this one is probably the second most comic accurate Batman on screen, and that is Val Kilmer.
So why Val Kilmer is here on my... I just really like Val Kilmer.
Everyone likes Val Kilmer.
I liked every movie I've ever seen him in, even really bad ones, because he's in a lot of bad ones, like later in his career. He is just awesome. This movie was... This is right after the Tim Burton movies.
Joel Schumacher took over, and
I was instantly disappointed when I went and watched this in the movie theaters. I knew I was. I remember the merchandise. I remember the movie. I went and watched it. I was instantly disappointed because it wasn't Tim Burton's vision of it, I guess.
Well, it went straight back to the 1960s.
Yeah,
campiness.
The 66 show, and that's fine. It's cool. I think this movie does have a lot of redeeming qualities on it, mostly the bad guys.
It has some nostalgic value.
Yeah, for sure.
Even Batman and Robin, we'll get to that.
The bad guys are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like in the everything about the movies have rewatchability, so it's not like, oh, this is unwatchable, you can never watch it again.
For sure. Yeah.
So
no. I watch this movie all the time. Jim Carrey's amazing. Tommy Lee Jones is amazing in this movie. But more importantly, Val Kilmer plays a very good Bruce Wayne to me. Mm-hmm. I love his Bruce Wayne. It's one of my favorite, I think, Bruce Wayne interpretations. It's very more subdued than like a Michael Keaton, but it's a lot more realistic take on Bruce Wayne to me.
Yeah, because, he doesn't have the outward charm like Michael Keaton had.
For sure. Yeah.
But again, he is the most comic accurate before Ben Affleck. He's the only person that really meets the height requirement. Was he like 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah.
So he at least falls in that little category.
And he was big back then. Yeah. He's a big dude.
Yeah. So not much really to say about him. He's good. He's middle of the road.
This is middle of the road. This is a movie I don't pass up when it's on. I will watch this movie every time it's on.
And
so, whatever.
Next up is Robert Pattinson. Now, he's this low on the list for no real good reason. He was great.
So I haven't seen... This was what I disagreed with on the list, and it's not even really a disagreement. I haven't seen this movie yet. I had no interest in seeing this movie. Actually, every trailer that I watched, I was like, whatever. I think it's more Batman Nolan stuff,
It's not. Honestly, it's if you took that and Seven and mix them together. So this movie's more like Seven than anything else.
Oh, well,
if you take out
Seven,
Batman and then a couple fight scenes, it's Seven.
Okay.
Because it's a guy trying to find a serial killer.
Which is...
the Riddler.
Okay. Yeah.
Paul Dano.
Yeah.
So
Look, I didn't like the trailers. A lot of people I respect, including Critter, said the movie was really good.
it was really good.
That I should
And
go
it's
watch
super
it.
long, and it's one of those movies you don't think is super
It's
long.
super long. That's good. I want to see the movie. I don't. Again, it's that internet meme culture. I don't have a super problem with Robert Pattinson. I think I've seen him in other movies, more low budget movies. I think he's a really good actor.
He is a really good actor.
So
he's really good in this.
I have also seen him in interviews, and he seems like a good dude. So I don't hate him like some people do.
I will say this movie. This is just based on Batman, not quality of movie. So let's also get that clear.
Right.
This movie, if I were to pick one of the better movies, it'd be right up there with Dark Knight.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah. It would be right under it if I had to pick.
So, and you're saying he's the second best comic book accurate, or second
He has the second best movie.
best movie. So on a list of how close he plays Batman, this is where he is on the list.
So, well, yes.
Yeah.
If you watch Year 1, Year 2, if you read Year 1,
Yeah, I
Year
did,
2,
yeah.
and then if you read Long Halloween, he does a very good job of capturing a guy that does not give a shit about his personal life and is too focused on Batman.
Okay.
So
All right.
he does a very good job of, like, I don't give a shit about Bruce Wayne at all, and you got Alfred going like, you should,
yeah.
which Christian Bale touches on. Again, everything Chris Nolan touched on everything, but didn't explore it a lot because he was more full story.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like that.
Is this a young Batman?
Young Batman.
Okay.
This is Year 2 Batman.
Oh, okay, all right.
This is Year 2, so it has Year 1 vibes. It has Year 2 vibes, minus the gun, which if you remember Year 2, he's fighting that guy.
Yeah.
And then so much Long Halloween shit in here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Long Halloween and Killing Joke. This is my two favorite Batman stories.
So this has a lot of that going in there, and it's a really good movie. He does a very good job of making you understand that he cares more about Batman than he does Bruce Wayne.
Because all my Bruce Wayne pictures or videos I've seen of him is
he looks
the
miserable.
things I don't like.
Yeah,
about Bruce Wayne.
Because and he doesn't, and it's apparent he doesn't.
But that
like
makes
himself.
sense. No, which is what you're telling me now. Yeah.
So the other thing is what I really like about his Batman. His suit was cool. I didn't really care for the ears on the cowl.
Yeah.
The cowl was fine, but I didn't care for the ears. A little too pointy for me. But I mean, like that's
a cosmetic thing.
Yeah, that's just very common, like very low grade nerd rage. But he is the only Batman on this list that if he was in a mask, you couldn't pick him out. He could be anybody. Every other fucking Batman on this list, if you saw them, you're like, that's that person, that's that person, that's that person. If they swapped out Robert Pattinson with
You
just
couldn't tell if it was someone
like
or
someone
actor.
else that was just a lookalike.
Is it just because of Robert Pattinson's face?
He has a very normal bottom part of his face, where every other actor has something
a giant
very,
chin or
a mole or
That's
lips
true, that's true,
or
yeah.
something. He is the only one that is like normal looking there. That someone could be
Which
like,
makes more sense
you
for a
could throw
Batman.
exactly. Every other person like, well, that's clearly Ben Affleck.
Even like Batman in the comic book, like they show Bruce Wayne and he's just this massive dude. And he's like, that dude obviously has to be a bodybuilder.
Why is this
Why is
rich
Bruce
guy
Wayne
so
a bodybuilder?
Like, well, he's trying to get laid all the time. Yeah, but
He's rich.
why that big? Like, there's got to be a limit, maybe.
Okay, yeah, all right. I accept his spot on the list since I haven't seen the movie.
Well, and when you see it, I think you will even rate that movie pretty highly.
I think so.
'Cause
From what I've heard, I would.
It's good.
I'm a big fan of the Arkham games, and I've heard it has a lot of like that kind of feel to it, the storyline wise and stuff like that. So that's cool.
There's some problematic areas here.
Yeah,
and there,
obviously,
but I mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what movie does?
I'm not hearing it's a perfect movie. I mean,
It's close.
it's good.
I mean, I'd put it right up there with Dark Knight.
Yeah, okay.
Close to it. Like the
Under, but there.
Okay. So the standout villain in that movie,
Penguin. Yeah, that's
Colin
what I heard,
Farrell
yeah.
crushed it.
That's Colin Farrell? Oh my god. Because he doesn't look anything. It's mind-boggling. Every time I saw a picture of it, I was like, that's not him.
Well, people forget he's a pretty good actor.
He is a good actor.
But they always put him as like Colin Farrell, and it's like, let the dude be whatever he wants.
This might be controversial. I can't stand him.
Well,
at all.
Well, that's perfect.
I don't like him at all. He's good in literally everything I've seen him in, and I can't stand him.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably by design. I mean, the dude's gotten money from me my, entire life because I can't stand him. And he's a good actor. So, yeah.
Coming in at number 6 is the classic Adam West. Now,
obviously, some of you old heads that are listening here, if we were like 10 to 20 years older, he may be higher on some other people's list. I like Adam West.
I love Adam West.
I love Adam West Batman. I watch it all the time. It is not good, and I'll argue with you about that. It's not good, but it's hella fucking enjoyable.
Yes. And again, you have to understand, this does not mean that he's a bad Batman. It just means that he's lower than these other people. And again, I have argued that older movies that people love and die behind, especially between the 70s and prior, they're not as good as you make them out to be.
I disagree with that, but yeah. I understand your thought process.
There's exceptions, but you go, like, I want you to go watch everything on Turner Classic Movie and watch how movies go. And you're going to be like, really? That's what counts as Academy Award winning acting back then?
You know what type of movies I watch. I watch anything from literally the fucking 40s,
I know,
30s, all the way to now.
And those are good movies.
Some of them are really good.
The Maltese Falcon is a great movie.
It's a great fucking movie.
But is Humphrey Bogart a good actor?
No, probably not.
No, but he's in great movies.
Yeah, he's in great movies. Adam West is it's campy. But it's perfect for its time.
Great Batman suit too.
Great Batman suit for its time. Again.
Well, and also vastly improved the Batman suits that were before it in the serials, which are not included on this list because
I don't even know that.
I mean, those were just awful.
The serials are again probably totally fine for its time.
For its time.
But if we release this podcast in the 60s, I mean, Adam West would be at the top of our list because we're old and it's the only one we fucking know. So
no, the serials would be like, those serials compared to Adam West. Get out of here. This is our Batman. This is our Batman.
Fucking mad about that. See, this goes in circles.
Imagine if they had a podcast about that back in the 60s. It's not a thing. Like, what's a podcast? We'd be talking in the continental accent, see?
Adam West he's awesome. I love the show. It's great. He's a good Bruce Wayne, actually. He's probably a better Bruce Wayne in the TV show than he is a Batman, mostly because he was just playing Adam West. And Adam West is just kind of charming, It's fine. He belongs here on the list.
For sure. And following up at the bottom of the list,
which totally belongs on the bottom of this list.
Everyone would agree with this. This is the least controversial opinion we have on this list, and it is George Clooney.
I understand why George Clooney got the role.
He was the it actor.
He was the it actor at the time. I understand why he would take the role.
It's a lot of money.
And
you get to play Batman.
This might have been his biggest paycheck at this time.
And why would you not want... If someone's like, we want you to be Batman...
I think I would turn it down just because I wouldn't want to... I'm 5'7".
Well, it's right up there with Michael Keaton.
This is true. I'm bigger than Michael Keaton, actually.
Well,
by like 30 pounds, maybe 40 on the bad week.
Well, we're talking about, is it muscle mass or
the suit? The suit don't matter. But yeah, it's not only his movie, because I'm going to take the movie out of it, like you said earlier. I watch this movie literally all the time. I like this movie a lot.
Every one of these movies has great rewatchability.
Is it Batman and Robin a good movie?
I kind of feel like the better movies have less rewatchability. Like Dark Knight.
I don't watch that movie ever.
Well, I like it, and I will watch it, but I have to sit down and make an event out of it.
For sure.
But if Batman and Robin comes on,
I'm watching it.
I'll just pop that bitch on.
Background noise. That's
background
me watching
noise.
it.
Yeah. I'm going to hear Arnold make some... Everybody
Ice chill. Yeah, nice. I enjoy this movie. Clooney phones in literally anytime he's my Bruce Wayne in this entire movie. Every single time.
Which is weird because you feel like he'd be really good at being Bruce Wayne.
I actually his life is probably more like Bruce Wayne than anybody on this list.
Yeah, probably.
Superstar, hot heartthrob, rich,
married to a model.
Sure. And if he's Bruce Wayne in this movie, I want those scenes to go away every single time, unless it's like the Poison Ivy scene or something along those lines. He just sucks the life out of me when I'm watching him as Bruce Wayne. Now, when I see him as Batman, it's not much better. It's just George Clooney in a Batman suit.
But he does. Okay, so he's surrounded by interesting villains.
Yes.
And he has the most unique way of he wins a battle with Mr. Freeze, which is just talking him down.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Honestly, it's nice because, I mean, like, since the animated series, which is absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Reinvented so many characters and invented characters such as Harley Quinn. They reinvented Mr. Freeze as being this misunderstood just person trying to save somebody.
Yeah. And that's been adopted to the modern comic books and stuff. Yeah.
And including in this movie, even though they captured the original 1966 original kind of Mr. Freeze vibe, they did the whole, we're going to do this because this makes Mr. Freeze more interesting, more understandable why he's doing things. So that part, I love that part of that movie. And also Bane's mask in that movie was just great.
Also, Poison Ivy's outfit. Yeah.
Uma
really
Thurman is a conundrum, man.
Yeah,
she's either
really
smoking hot to me or
just
not at all.
Nothing. Yeah, I agree.
But
actually.
this is a smoking hot, and then also Kill Bill, just for some reason smoking hot.
Yeah,
and be cool, smoking hot.
So George Clooney, bottom list, 100% deserves it. I would think if George Clooney listened to this podcast, he would agree with this list because I've heard him in interviews and going, I should have never done that movie, but you should have because it probably paid for one year mansion.
Well, it's not like it hurt him. So
it did hurt him. I think he's had a fine career ever since it did.
And he's a good writer and director, and he does more. Yeah, he does more art housey stuff.
Yeah, I don't like George Clooney. So again, that's one of those other actors I don't care for.
Well, no, he writes and directs that stuff.
Yeah, I know that. I just don't care for George Clooney.
Where do we stand on this list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? We know you disagree in the Ben Affleck thing, but
or you don't.
But did our things that we say help you out, understand it a little bit better? I mean, because if you take the movie, we're separating the movie away from the person playing Batman.
Yeah, for sure, because the list would look a lot different.
The list would definitely be different because, honestly, if we're doing it based on best movie, I mean, unfortunately, Ben Affleck would be way further down.
Way further down.
Way further down. Like really right.
George Clooney would probably still be in the same place.
George Clooney would be the same, and then Ben Affleck would be above maybe Val Kilmer.
And then how would y'all rearrange this list if you could make the list yourself?
Let us know.
Is Adam West more at the top because you're old, or Michael Keaton up there because it's your favorite Batman and then you can't get any better than that? Yeah, sure.
If that's how you are, if you can't see past our reasoning, that's cool too.
Why you're wrong.
But that's okay to be wrong.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start ending out the podcast. Go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other social media. Go leave us a review on all your favorite podcast apps, however you're listening to us right now. Thumbs up, 5 stars, hate hugs. Right, Critter?
Hate hugs. Hate hug us. Give us a positive, give us 5 stars, and then you can just tell us how bad we are. That's fine.
Sure. Awesome.
But 5 stars.
Share the other podcasts in the network. Future Fix Billiam. We love that guy.
Absolutely. And honestly, Billiam, weigh in. Let us know. Your opinion would go heavily, but if it disagrees with us heavily, then we're going to just kick you right out. Like, fuck you, man.
Because you're wrong.
Because it's okay to be wrong, though.
So we have been your hosts. I am Snarfkris.
I'm Critter.
And good journey, nerds.
Good journey, nerds.